It was a decade before the gramophone was invented, over 60 years before radio came to Albury, and 90 before television. It's 1867, and the formation of Albury City Band is warmly welcomed as fantastic entertainment for a growing community. Now celebrating 150 years, the band has been a musical training ground, a social connection, and above all, it has united our community through the universal language of music. Early records show the band playing at small events throughout the town from its inception, but on November the 19th, 1873, the band played its first major event, the opening ceremony for the Melbourne to Wodonga railway link. Since then, the band has played at almost every significant event in the history of Albury.
Could you imagine an Anzac parade without a band? Could you imagine probably some of the football finals or other major events in the town where the band doesn't turn up? It's almost an essential ingredient, I think, in lifestyle in a reasonable sized town.
The longevity of the band is a real source of pride for its members, particularly as so many regional bands came and went both before and during this time. Unsurprisingly to any local, the band's lifespan is largely a reflection of the strength and unity of the Albury community.
Fortunately, particularly through the two world wars, the band has continued functioning. In the Second World War, it functioned because of the elderly and the very young. And it wasn't only the elderly, because there were people who weren't allowed to join the forces because they were in critically important jobs, so that they were able to help the band. It went, in the Second World War, the band went down to fairly low levels, but fortunately it was able to continue to function.
Not only responsible for bringing the musical talents of Albury and its surrounding towns together, the band has always had a special way of connecting young and old and spreading a love of music.
If they were marching, we'd be marching along beside it. We could feel the rhythm and sing along to the songs, and
yep. We were trained to sing as well. We were trained to play the piano. There was always music playing at home. Dad loved all the big band music. We just grew up with music.
Over the time, opportunity arose for families to share their talents and love of music with each other as members of the band. Brothers Ken and Ron Polkinghorne, husband and wife Don and Cheryl Ballum, and former bandmaster Ron Belt and his son and grandson, Randolph and Wayne, are just a few of many. The band has a special place in the hearts of many in our community, with its many notable performances including Armistice Day at the end of the First World War, Albury Floral Festival, the opening of the Mercy Hospital, the War Memorial Civic Theatre opening, and playing for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip on their visit to Albury to formally open QE2 Square.
It's named Albury City Band for a very good reason, and that's because it both reflects our community and supports our community, and it builds that community through involving people in music and having people just enjoy music.
As it always has, the band now looks to the future with enthusiasm of how the new generation will shape the sound and direction of the band.
It is important that, as well as the very old, we have younger people. The ideal situation is to have a broad spectrum of all ages, abilities and experience. That's what makes a lively organisation and an interesting one.
From my knowledge and experience working through different band programs, I've learned a lot about ensemble etiquette and ensemble technique, and I hope to be able to bring this to the band and allow them to be even better than they already are.
Now, under the guidance of music director David Worrell, there's little doubt the band will be here to entertain for many years to come.
As music director, I have a strong ability to influence the future direction of the organisation, and it has a very proud history, very long history. It's the second oldest band in the country, so I look forward to taking it into its next 150 years.